I don't normally, yellow flies, Florida in the summer. I don't normally dress out my toggles with this much care. I just usually grab a stick off the ground. But hey, we've got a certain bushcraft wilderness survival whole persona thing we got to keep going. Hey, welcome back for another Wilderness Wednesday. It's that time of year in Florida where, well, hazy, hot, and humid. Even now at about 8 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty warm. The other thing that happens this time of year in Florida is that every day, every other day, we get a pretty heavy downpour. So the ground's going to be pretty wet. When I'm out in the woods, hiking, backpacking, bushcrafting, I don't want to put my bag down on that wet ground that came from that downpour the day before. So here's a neat little trick using two different knots that have some of the same techniques that help you keep your pack up off of the ground. When I'm out just traipsing around the woods or I'm on a backpacking trip, any type of adventure outside in the woods, I always carry some paracord or some type of cordage, might be bank line, might be jute twine, whatever it is. I carry about 4 to 6 feet of that in my pocket, specifically for this trick to keep your bag nice and dry and also keep it up so that you don't have to bend over when you need to get things out of it. This is 275 paracord. And to tie this Bowline knot, which is a great knot for this type of application, I could do a loop in the end with that overhand loop, the overhand end loop that I use for a lot of other applications that aren't weight bearing. Easy to tie, get it in there quickly, but this time I'm going to try a Bowline. The Bowline is a great knot to make a loop that won't collapse. It's not a slip knot, it won't collapse, it bites down on itself so that it won't constrict. I take the working end of my cordage, lay it over my palm. Then with my working hand, I'm going to go thumbs down, grab that cordage, and flip it up. That's going to create a loop for me. So my standing end comes up and loops around to a working end. Take the working end, feed that up through the loop to make a bite, then continue that working end around the bite, and then back down through that loop next to your standing end. Grab both of those, and if you pull and twist your wrist a little bit that way, it's going to create that Bowline. And the way that you know that you have a good Bowline is the way it wraps around here. Let me show you one more time with that Bowline. Very easy knot to tie, and it's a basic one. If you were in scouting, you may have heard the whole rabbit up through the hole around the tree. I just tie it this way because I found, for me at least, that whole idea of the rabbit, which way you're supposed to run around the tree, was confusing. So lay that working end across your palm with your other hand, thumb down, grab, flip up. Then take that working end up through that loop around the back of the bite, back down through that loop, put your standing end and working end next to each other, and there you have your Bowline. Won't collapse on itself. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to create what's called a running Bowline. A running Bowline is just when you have a Bowline and you wrap it around a post or a tree, and then take your cordage and put it through the Bowline. Now this is a slip knot, and you can cinch that and it's going to hold. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a stick. I'm going to create a toggle for myself. I have one here, and the way I'm going to create that toggle is just going to crown the ends a little bit. This is a good technique for dressing up the ends of anything you're whittling, anything you're carving, anything you're cutting, and it helps keep it from splitting on the ends. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to do a V notch in the middle. Just take that and score around your toggle. Then create your V notch into that. My toggle's done and ready. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer to show you this Marlin Spike. So here we have that Bowline, the running Bowline, cinched up nice and holding tight. To do the Marlin Spike, take that hand again, thumb down, grab the cordage, and flip it up to make a loop much like we did with the bowline. So my standing end comes down and wraps up over top of the cordage. Then I'm going to flip this up on itself and take that standing end and pull it through. So I've made a bite with that standing end coming through that loop. Take my toggle and pull it tight in there. One more time. Here's my bowline up here. I'm going to wrap around for my running bowline. Take that standing end, thumb down, grab it, and flip to thumb up so that now I've made a loop that comes down and around and up over itself. Flip that up onto the standing end and pull the standing end through the loop. Put my toggle through there and pull it down tight. That's not going to go anywhere. Then I can take my bag with that loop, put the toggle through it, and now it's up, nice and dry. I can get to what I need to inside of it without having to bend over. It's a great trick to keep that bag dry and make it easier to work. Hey, thanks for joining me for another Wilderness Wednesday. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. Every Wednesday I come out with another trick out in the woods, because in the woods is where you're going to be this weekend. Get out there, use this trick to keep your bag dry. It's impossible to be in the outdoors and in a bad mood at the same time. We see you back for another Wilderness Wednesday.